Bigfoot, undisputedly the world's most entertaining cryptid. Join the Reverend Jeff Kelly and your old pal Wes as they discuss the best and worst the media has to offer. Movies, books, TV shows, commercials, all on Bigfoot Entertainment Weekly.
This program may contain adult language, content, and graphic discussion of gore. Parental supervision is required.
That's right, required, fuckers. Welcome to the show, because I'm Reverend Jeff, and over there is your old pal Wes. And tonight on Bigfoot Entertainment Weekly, we're going to take care of discussing Willow Creek. That's right, done by Bobcat Goldthwait in the year 2013. Why was it done in the style it was done? Well, Bobcat's a strange kind of fella. I remember when he was in town and everybody was talking about they're here to make this awesome Bigfoot movie. It's like a Bigfoot movie like you've never seen before and you'll probably never see again. And there's good goddamn reason for that. Let's see here. The IMDb says the storyline is Jim and his girlfriend Kelly are visiting the infamous Willow Creek, the alleged home of the original Bigfoot legend. The tale of huge ape-like creatures that roam the forests of North America. It was there in 1967. The legendary beast was captured on film and has terrified and mystified generations since. Keen to explore more than 50 years of truth, folklore, misidentification, and hoaxes, Kelly goes along for the ride to keep Jim happy, whilst he is determined to prove the story is real by capturing the beast on camera. Deep in the dark and silent woods, isolated and hours from human contact, neither Kelly or Jim are prepared for what's hidden between the trees. What happens when the camera starts rolling? Well, Kaleidoscope Film Distribution would like you to think that it's a great fucking movie, but we're here to tell you. Wes, take it away, buddy. How's this crap storm start out?
Well, I just remember all the hype, and I was even hyped up with it. I even started looking into Bobcat's movies and watching all his movies, and some of them were damn good. So I was pretty excited, and then when I saw that he had a genuine interest in this and everything, I was like, damn, this might be a good movie. And then, at the time, knowing that, a friend of mine was going to be in the movie and everything like that, I was even more stoked. And, and then knowing that our friends were, behind the scenes on it, it was awesome. So, there was even more, of that, wanting it to be great, and everything. And yeah, this movie, 15 minutes in is kind of a letdown, you know what I'm saying? But we start.
You're not kidding either.
So it's like you kind of are seeing where it's going. But we start and it's like the movie starts and it's just you're getting the final scene.
Yeah, it's following that formula. Yeah, it's giving you the end first to make you interested in what's going on so that you put through the bore fest of everything else to find out.
Yeah, so the cameras focus on some, old dead grass and shit, and you hear a little raccoon sniffing the camera, and then it cuts to our two main lames of the story that are going to be driving in a car, and they, have this little intro where they're talking about what they're doing.
Gilmore as Kelly and Bryce Johnson as Jim.
I can't hate on her. She did a good job, but that dude, really, should not be acting or trying to appear in movies. She did okay. I'll give her that. She played, a snobby actress girlfriend that wants to get the fuck out of there, all right, that doesn't want to get fucking raped by fucking mountain people. But anyways, so
you said it.
They are in their car. But anyways, they stop at the famed, Bluff Creek sign. We all have a picture there next to it,
Yeah,
so
I've got a picture next to it. You've got a picture next to it.
Yeah.
My buddy John's got a picture next to it.
yeah, on Route 96, the Bigfoot Byway, So then he starts doing his little intro, and then the first one I caught this, and the first intro he does, he says the film was made in 1996.
In 1996. The dude didn't even know about Bigfoot at all. The schmuck they got playing Jim is a giant jackass. Anyhow.
But he ended up fixing it and saying 67 after his chick gave him the little pep talk, and
Leave
everything.
me out of it. Just do your thing. Don't mention me at all.
Yeah, she continues that throughout the whole movie.
Makes
But
me want to
anyways-
cut punter, just like in the friggin' Dear God, no. I wanted to put a nunnery dress on her and just cunt punt that. Anyhow, we'll get to that later.
Anyways, so they're in the car and they have this debate, of believing in Bigfoot and knowing it to be real or whatever that. And
Why
she's
aren't there
telling
any
him,
bones? Why aren't there any bodies? Blah, blah, blah. Where's that nun outfit?
So they end up arriving into Willow Creek and they stop by that orange sign. That it's a cool sign. I like how it looked. I'm sure like back
mural
in its
painted
day.
Bigfoot. Yeah, it was.
But then what's it called? They go to the early burger, but Bigfoot
The early
burger.
bird. Yeah, the early
Yeah,
bird.
the
for
early
Bigfoot-
bird. Yeah.
For the
And-
Bigfoot burger. We had us a Bigfoot burger when we were up there.
Oh yeah. I always go when I stop in Willow Creek. So they have that scene in there where they're looking at the murals on the wall in there, and they have a Bigfoot burger or whatever. And then she tries to make a dirty joke and does not succeed at getting it out.
Not at all.
One bit. So then they end up going through driving through town, and they look at the Ace Hardware or whatever that has the long ass mural, on the, which is dope, but it does kind of look like Biggie's a slave laborer.
He's mowing lawn, painting houses.
And one's
Building
just sitting there
barns.
all sad, and they kind of make that voice for him.
Yeah,
and
but
stuff.
I'm still over
It was
here
a
warming up my motorcycle.
It was a funny little scene, But then they stop by that Oma statue, and they interview that lady who was very welcoming.
They
Very
always
welcoming
interview
from
that
the
lady.
visitor center.
Yeah, that lady's in every documentary you ever heard of in the 80s. I mean, she's told that same story 19 different ways, and it always changes. If you lined up just her interviews and all the stuff she's ever done over time, she's told like 12 different stories.
It's funny. So then after the statue interview with the visitor center lady, they go and they interview the Dark Lord.
The Dark Lord.
And
that's all you're gonna call him? You're just gonna leave it at that? Okay.
He ends up giving them the map to where people go to get butt raped.
Okay. So if you people out there don't know what we're gonna, I can't skip it. What we're talking about is our trip to the bookstore with Stephen Stroifert is how it's actually pronounced. The creepy guy with the bug eyes who was talking about porn. Yeah, that guy holds the key to like the maps to Bluff Creek. It's kind of scary in the long run.
Well, yeah, so he, tells them in everything how to get there, and so then they interview this lady on the Hoopa reservation after that. Oh wait, first they go and see Tom Yammer.
Oh,
and he
poor Tom.
performs.
I love you, Tom. I do love
think it's messed. I only want to say this about Bobcat is like Tom is a nice dude, all right, and he fully believes in like Bob Gimlin. I'm starting to have my doubts about all this shit, like with the whole Patty and everything every now and then, but still this dude like fully believes in, like, he wrote this song about it and everything, and he played it, and then like he messed up and they just kept it in the movie. I don't know if that was planned or But I
It
just
was
think
not
that was
Climax.
like kind of messed up that they did that.
I did too. I mean, I thought it was the dude messed up his own song and you didn't edit it out for him. It was like his big break. It was supposed to be, this world-renowned freaking director's movie, and that's how you treated the guy who was kind enough to get you close to people that you wouldn't have gotten close to without him. Yeah, kind of bullshit. Anyhow.
Yeah, so then they interview this lady on the Hoopa reservation, and then like she says cut. And then
Wait.
back.
It's Hoopa.
Yeah, so then after that interview, she talks about seeing him when she was a kid and stuff. But then after that interview, they go and they talk to this guy, and the guy talked about his dog being ripped in half. Which was a sad story. I felt bad for the guy, but like the dude was like calling him a liar and shit after that, like when they're driving. And so then they go to this bar, right? And
there's always a bar scene. Have you noticed that's
in Willow
another
Creek,
formula?
it's one of two bars. So,
right. And this is the real world bar, dude. These people really are there daily.
And this dude's singing, right? And he sings this song and everything, and he's singing about Roger and Bob, right? Okay. So this same dude is the creepy guy that comes to him when they're outside videotaping in front of the sign in front of the gas station, the really cool little statue in front of the gas station. And they're filming out there, and that same dude that wrote that song was the guy that came up to him and said, "Don't go out there, it's not a joke." You know what I'm saying? So it was like he was kind of creepy, like like I don't know. They played the whole Deliverance feel of this movie really good, but so they're driving and they come across like another friendly local / butt raper as they're driving through.
Oh, and this was total, hey, Nettie, come here. I got something to show you.
And, like I'm sure he was like a pot grower or whatever, but he wanted them to leave and threw a rock at their car and everything. So
how about you point this thing back where you came from, and when you hit town, go have yourself a burger and a glorious story. Now get the fuck on out of here. They portray the locals of Willow Creek in every one of these movies so poorly. I'm surprised the people of Willow Creek even participate or help them make these movies anymore.
Money talks, I guess. I don't know. Like I would get pretty pissed off if every day fucking they painted a picture that you're an asshole, and you're gonna go rape people and kill people for coming out and trying to fucking search for, something that's put your town on the map, I don't know.
Well, yeah, they're turning their nose at that now. Hell, having a Bigfoot parade through Willow Creek is like pulling friggin' teeth anymore. They didn't even close down the highway this year. They were just like, yeah, fuck it. We're not going to technically close down the highway, so you could use like part of the shoulder, okay? Yeah.
Well, I don't know, man. Maybe people are just fed up with people going there. I don't know. Still, even though, some people have ruined things for me, I still think it's a fucking awesome place to go for any Bigfooter.
Any amazing place to just go camp, to just go put up your tent and hang out and swim in the summertime for a week. You go explore the trails all around there and go up the Onion Mountain Road and just go have a good time around Lyle's Camp. Forget the fact that the film site's down there. Lyle's Camp is just a pimp camp, and we'll get there in a minute.
But yeah, so then they get to the top of where you start the trail of getting down to Bluff Creek, and it's where you're looking down and you can see it right there, the film site actual.
Yeah, and that's when the douchebag says, okay, well, now we're about a day and a half from the film site.
Actually, he said an hour and a half.
Did he say an hour and a half? I could have sworn he said a day and a half.
No. Yeah, it was
maybe I was okay. So if it was an hour and a half, all right. Well, that would have been true. Then why were they camping the first night before they got down to the film site? That doesn't.
That's because the broad got pissed. She was this. That's what it comes right here. Is in my notes, she's like getting attitude, as they're hiking down and everything, and then she gets pissed and she says something to him, and then the film cuts, and then he's like, "So we're deciding to camp and set up and everything," and that's when he like comes out and he's like, "Hey, I want to show you something," and that's when they're at Louse Camp now, completely
Nowhere near where they just
nowhere
were.
near where they just were, like just somewhere else.
They were like
But
5
only
miles
people,
from there.
yeah, but only people that have been there would know.
Right. So they walk down the trail to the blue pool at Louse Camp,
Yeah.
and they go swimming in the
Well,
water
he
and
goes
hold back there.
swimming.
Well,
You
yeah,
just see him get butt naked and
yeah, we get
hop
butt
right
naked.
in like Kip Morrill.
Thanks, Dick Trickle. He did butt naked right in the blue pool, just like Captain Kip.
Yeah, but then they get back and their tent was all, or he sees his sock first. And he's like, "What's my sock doing up there?"
Tree?
And then he finds his, tent all messed up, and so he's probably just bears, So the next scene, this is where you get Oscar-winning acting. Sorry. Yeah, award-winning Oscar, definitely for sure. The dude sets up his camera and he's, in the tent with the broad and everything, and he basically does the worst marriage proposal you could possibly ever think of. This girl's already pissed and hating life and rethinking her relationship with this guy for dragging him out here and everything. And so he like kind of is like, "Well, will you marry me?" He was like, "Why did you start with that?" Like,
And her answer was just like epic.
And she just full on declines.
She was just like, "Well, I like you and I care about you a lot, but I'm not sure I feel that same way." And he's just like, you could see that he was supposed to feel bad, but he couldn't. And he was just like, "Okay, so what do you do with a bitch like that?" Me, I leave her ass in the woods. I'd be like, "Oh, okay, well, I can hike out of here in the dark without your ass. So when you go to sleep tonight, fuck you, I'm leaving you to the grizzlies." Hashtag grizzly poop.
Yeah. But anyways, so like it cuts to the next scene where a dude thinks he's hearing noises, and then he like wakes her up and he's telling her he heard a knock and she doesn't know what the fuck that means. And so like he tries explaining that, and then she hears a knock, and then that's when the whoops start, and then like he just is like totally like not even looking excited or any shit like that or anything like that. Like that's his whole mission, was to come down here and look for proof of Bigfoot and everything. And he's sitting there with no expression on his face whatsoever, and he's like, "Oh, that's a vocalization." And I was just like, after he said vocalization and everything like that, I was just like, I put it in my notes like, dude, this acting is so legit that like. So then,
Academy Award winners, man.
Right after his explanation of what a vocalization is, because she doesn't know, you hear the Ohio howl that everybody calls it, or I like to call the goat moan.
The goat moan.
But then after hearing that moan, they hear the naked lady crying. And you don't know she's naked yet, but
right. But just hear a lady crying.
You hear, the wicked lady of the fucking woods.
Willow Creek woods.
Yeah. So then they turn off the light, and you start hearing footsteps, coming around and getting closer, and then something's wrong walking around the tent, and then you hear this like really like fucked up growl that sounds like a fucking badger with AIDS or something.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell it was. That was a badger with AIDS. Probably it's a good description of it, but holy crap. I don't know what the sound engineers were thinking during this movie, but none of the sounds that y'all used sound anything like a primate.
Well, the knocks, like I've never heard a wood knock, so I can't say that sounds like a wood knock to me. But it sounded like wood knocking.
Letterman and those
But
guys out in the
yeah.
woods actually replicating that stuff for those guys.
So
Those guys didn't know anything
whoops,
about it.
you know what I'm saying? That's not this. That was those guys and stuff. But the other things like the tiger noises and the mountain lion noises,
Right.
and
None of that made any sense whatsoever.
yeah, and the badger, the AIDS badger. But anyways, so there's something walking around. It growls, and then it fucks with the tent, and like chick is like scared out of her wits and fucking screaming every time it makes a noise and everything like that. And this dude is sitting there with no expression on his face, not even looking scared, worried, or anything. He just looked like he did not know his line.
Yeah.
And was like,
"What's my line again?" I'm sure he had to ask that a million freaking times while they were filming this.
yeah. So then, like, he's not making a fucking sound, and then they cut to where, okay, it's almost dawn, and we're gonna get the fuck out of here. We're not going to the film site, and all this shit. So then they start their hike out, and he finds a hair, like a wad of hair and shit on like this, like I don't know, stump or some shit,
On a tree, on a rolled over tree, they found a length of hair, and he's getting his girlfriend to film him while he's collecting it. He's like, "Film this." She's like, "Again,
Yeah.
I'm getting out the nun habit, and I'm warming up the motorcycle because."
So after that they continue hiking on, and then they hear the fucking goat moan again, or the Ohio howl.
That's Robert through that didgeridoo.
I know.
You remember the didgeridoo he was playing at the campfire? Yeah. I love Robert Lederman. He's a great guy. He's a retired ranger, an ex-police trainer. He's a fantastic guy. But that fucking didgeridoo howl.
No, that shit was so awesome, though.
It was, man.
I forget what ridgetop we were on when they were doing it at night, and Kip and Robert were doing that shit, and I got video of them, but that shit was loud when they did it off of that ridge. I forget what ridge it was, Mosquito Ridge or some shit, like weird name like that, Onion Ridge, or I don't know what the hell it was.
Laird Ridge.
Something.
Who knows?
But anyways, so like they hear more wood knocks, they hear whoops, they end up fucking coming across the same stump where he found the hair in the
3 hours later. Oh,
yeah,
she freaks
out.
She freaks out. "I'm not following you any fucking more." And I wouldn't follow him either. Like, if you let us around and, send us around in circles for 3 hours, I don't think I'd be following homeboy either.
Yeah, so then more howls break out and shit like that, and then rocks are starting to get thrown and everything. And so they end up by this, like, cut toward the scene where they're by a creek and everything like that, and then they're walking, and then he's like next to that, like, real beachy black sand, by some of the creeks and everything, and he sees these big, like, Bigfoot prints, like only like 2 steps, no other trail, but only 2 steps, like in the water.
Just like we talked about last time with the end of the movie where there was one Bigfoot print. This one had 2.
Yeah. So there's 2, and they're like heading into the water and everything like that. And then he's telling the chick, hey, like, come look at this and everything like that. And then you hear this like mountain lion growl, like totally cat growl going off in the bushes, and you see the bushes moving and shit. And then so they're like, freak out, and then the bush and the growls, and then more goat man howls, and then so like they fucking run off, and then so then the scene cuts and it's nighttime, right? And this is what I don't understand. These morons have this bright light, and they're filming themselves. I get that for the movie. Yes, I understand. Okay, I'm not stupid. However, they don't have a flashlight. The only light they have is that. So are you going to light up what you're going to feed to everything in the dark for it to come at you and you can't see it? Or are you going to point the light in the direction where you want to actually see what the fuck is 5 feet away from you? That's what I didn't understand. They were pointing the light on themselves the entire fucking movie and not pointing it ahead until they were running. That's what I just didn't understand. Because these things were like literally 5 feet in front of them growling and shit, and you could have turned around, turned the camera, but there was no suit in this movie because there was no Bigfoot in this movie.
Yeah, that's where we're getting to. Is sadly, there's no Squatch in this flick. No,
Yeah.
I mean, for me to be able to really want to like a Bigfoot movie, it's got to have a fucking Bigfoot in it. I did not get the impression that there was a Bigfoot in this movie anywhere.
Yeah. So as after that part and everything happens, and the dude like is kind of like, like saying, I fucked up. And then he doesn't really explain himself, and then you hear the crying again. And so they start like just taking off and hiking, and then, or not hiking, basically running for their lives in the dark. And then you hear the crying get louder, and boom, naked ass lady with her head down, walking like she's stoned on whatever kind of fucking mountain wizard drug they would do. And then the next thing you hear is the loud feline roar of a tiger.
Yeah, it was a tiger, and that's why we nicknamed this movie "Naked Lady with a Tiger."
Yeah, and that's and so it attacks, and it like you hear this dude just getting mauled and shit, and then fucking you don't hear this chick at all. You don't hear the broad at all, and dude's just getting mauled, and then drag the fuck off, and then he like I guess drops the camera, and it's just focused out. Then you hear the chick scream, and then she screams again, and then you hear howl, 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 three of the same howls going,
Different areas, like there were three, whatever these things were, naked ladies with a tiger.
Yeah, but no Bigfoot, no suit, no nothing, 2 footprints, and like you saw, like, not only that, but I remember when this movie was like screened, and everybody was like tagging, everyone that went to it and everything, and they were showing like people saying, "Yeah, man, you got the sounds down, you got this right," and everything, and everybody was so pleased with this movie, and I don't fucking understand how you can be pleased. Like, I get supporting your friends and everybody that was in the movie because those guys did a good job. They thought they were making a Bigfoot movie. But I feel like dude like wanted a Bigfoot movie, but then also went with like, a lot of the fucking other negative shit that people talk about, that goes on up in there, that area and shit, and just totally went with that. And just,
it was like there was 3 different stories going on here. There was the creepy deliverance guy up in the friggin' woods, the creepy people in town, and then whatever this naked lady with a tiger was.
Yeah, this was basically watching Bigfoot County, but not going to Happy Camp. It went to Willow Creek, and instead of seeing butt rape, you're seeing that these women are being like harassed by fucking tiger people. I don't understand, like
I was completely let down in the movie
it was
myself.
And anyone who has paid attention to me from day one with this movie in the lounge will see my first post of me just saying how absolutely disappointed I am in this movie, and I from then on just it was just like this movie had so much promise, and just completely I felt like dude just flipped us all off, like it fucked everything, like I don't know, like
Unlike some of the other found footage movies where it's, a crew of 40 guys with professional cameras actually filming it. No, this literally was like 8 people in the friggin' field making this movie. And you can tell.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of the others, like, if they had a different dude actor, actually scrap that. Get rid of both the actors and put in 2 other ones.
In a real Bigfoot suit.
Or, what he could have done is just hired, they could have put on a fucking call and just hired people that were, like, into Bigfooting and shit like that, and I think they would have put a better effort into his movie. And then someone would have been like, hey, so-and-so has a suit. and so's a makeup artist, you know what I'm saying? And so's this, like, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of letdown from this movie, and I'm not even gonna lift my hand to give a thumbs down for this shit because honestly, it's not a Bigfoot movie, so it shouldn't really be on this show. That's why I have yet to mention it. Is just they go to a Bigfoot town, a town that like used to take pride in, I guess, in that, but I don't know. It could just be how fucking we're seeing it portrayed. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe, like I don't know, people were kind of dicks like some of the times that I went, but a lot of the other people were fucking nice as hell. Everyone at the museum, absolutely awesome and will talk to you for hours. Like those people are super nice. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like they're going to the wrong people in those movies. Unless that's what those people want, is to portray that, so you stay the hell away and you don't go there. I don't know.
It seems that these movies keep going back to the same people in Willow Creek, and they're still turning out the same crappy movies. Anyhow, I'm kind of with you. I'm not even giving it a thumbs down. It's kind of, if you have run out of other Bigfoot movies to watch, I guess you could watch this one and find out how bad it really is. But for me, it's not one of my favorites. I'm glad we got it over with, and we'll just kind of leave it at that. Agreed?
Yeah.
Agreed.
I just don't feel it's a Bigfoot movie. It's a tiger movie. So,
well, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Bigfoot Entertainment Weekly. Join us next week when we'll be talking about Dead Bigfoot, the saga of the Bigfoot killer Justin Smeha and the director Rose Sahibi's adventure into this world. That's right, Dead Bigfoot. I've been wanting to put it off till the end of the season, so here we're going to wrap up the season with Dead Bigfoot. But tonight, Wes and I decided we were going to preview for you lucky people out there watching our new series coming at the end of the show's What the Fuck Theater. So enjoy part one of...
Completely inspired by marijuana.
That's right. Fuck Bigfoot. We want tacos.
And who can
what
forget?
the
Fuck Bigfoot. We want tacos. Two fat guys talking about Bigfoot is the telling of how BEW became the #1 entertainment juggernaut in the podcast history. That's right. Join the guys' journey into booze, drugs, and hookers as they blow hundreds of dollars in YouTube monetization checks down in old Tijuana, Mexico. Let's pick up the fellas on their adventure.
Whoa, Rev. Where the fuck are we, bro?
I think we're somewhere near Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, no, that music's in Spanish, bro.
Nah, man, you're just high. That's Indiana.
Oh.
Dumbass. You're south of the border. Paybacks for Japan, fucker.
Oh, fuck, gross.
That's right. Fuck Japan. And we'll go ahead and follow it up with the sequel, Fuck Bigfoot, We Want Tacos, Part 2.
When we last saw Celeste and the Rev, they were south of the border, and we catch up with the guys as they hitchhike back to America. Let's listen in.
Oh, man, Rev. I got the taco shits, bro, like you wouldn't believe. Hurry up and get us a ride, dude.
Well, it wasn't me that was passed out face down after the Chihuahua burrito, now was it, fucker?
Hey, dude, Miguel and Jose seem like good dudes, man, and that was good shit, bro. I'm not gonna lie, and I did get their number. So what? I passed out, but
yeah, I'll stand out here and get us a lift.
Fuck, dude, you're not gonna get anyone to fucking pull over like that, dude. You have to show some leg, bro.
Yeah, well, the last time I showed that much leg, my balls hung out.
We're in Mexico, Rev. People pay extra for that. They see those fuckers bouncing on the freeway, and we're bound to get a ride.
Well, that's fine, as long as they don't run them over like they did in Tokyo. Fuck Japan.
Well, what the fuck really went down while you were missing in Japan? I mean, it's fucking obvious why I hate Mexico. I mean, just smell, bro. Now, just tell me, dude. What fucking happened?
Well, fuck, I guess it's about time I tell you what happened back in Tokyo. This is why I say, fuck Japan. in next week to find out what happens. Why we say fuck Japan.